Now, as you may remember, Richard, the World Space Patrol headquarters in Space City is run by the grumpy and grouchy Commander Zero.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, remember that.
Assisting him is sidekick and punching bag Lieutenant 90, or Lieutenant they probably said, but I'm going to say Lieutenant in a very British way.
Yeah.
No, he was never a literal punching bag, don't worry, Pottertrons, but he did have to bear the brunt of Commander Zero's wrath in many an episode of Fireball XL5. Of course, later on that number will be used again as a designation in Joe 90. Do you see the link there?
Right, I see. Yes, I see where we're going. Yes,
now,
okay.
pint-sized spy Joe McLean was so called because he was the 90th
Pint-sized?
agent. Well, all right. I mean, what do you want?
Young. He's young.
Young spy Joe McLean was so called because he was the 90th agent of the World Intelligence Network. Yes, of WIN. And the Big Rat was also indexed under File 90 in the episode Project 90.
Okay.
What a lot of 90s.
A lot of 90s, yes.
Now, amazingly enough, when Dad was interviewed by Simon Archer for the first edition of his biography in the early 1990s, When Else?
Right. Oh, yes.
He confessed that by the time he got around to creating Joe 90, he had completely forgotten about poor old Lieutenant 90 in Fireball XL5, and he claimed that he thought at the time that using 90 like a surname was a completely new idea, that nobody in the studio pointed out that the team had already done this before in a previous show.
Right.
So I'm afraid it does just go to show that memory can play tricks, and a lot of memory depends on one's individual perspective.
Yeah.
So
okay.
It wasn't that was really cool back in Fireball, wasn't it? Let's use that again.
No, it was more, I've got a great idea.
Yeah.
Again.
Now, I mean, it definitely happened a lot in his life where he would use kind of repeated memes or titles. I say memes, they weren't memes back then, but certainly titles or character names or ways of finding character names from his own life.
Yeah.
That would repeat over and over. An example, I guess, for me is the Terrorhawks episode A Christmas Miracle.
Yes.
And, of course, then his unmade Christmas animated feature, also entitled A Christmas Miracle. And when I pointed out to him that this was a borrowed title from a previous one, he went, "Oh, was it?"
Right.
And I guess we could even say the same for Commander Zero in Fireball XL5 and Sergeant Major Zero in Terrorhawks.
Yeah, absolutely right. It's interesting, isn't it? Because the trouble is, of course, once it's knowing, it becomes too self-referential, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I always think of the Protect and Survive. You know, there are numerous, two that I can think of, examples of Protector. There's Captain Scarlet, I believe, and a Space Precinct episode called Protect and Survive. And I think I've used it as a chapter title somewhere as well, but I did that knowingly, and I did think, maybe this is a bit too self-knowing now.
I think it's different when it's done in that way, though, isn't it? When it's a nod rather than aren't we cool, let's link this back.
Yes, maybe.
I know you would never think that of yourself, so... would
yeah,
never
that's
happen.
Interesting. Yeah. Also, on the subject of memory, I was having a chat the other day with a man who went to see a play many, many years ago in Stratford-upon-Avon. It's a Shakespeare play. And he had a distinct memory of this particular character washing his feet in some water on stage. And then he did a bit of research and found a review for this play. I mean, we're talking, 60, 70 years ago. And the review mentioned him washing his hands in the water.
Oh.
But he has a distinct memory of him washing his feet, and he cannot be budged on that. And yet he knows they can't both be true.
Yeah.
And that's how memory works, isn't it?